Scoob. Watch the movie premiere at home July 10.
Yeah, and we are live. Right, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're listening to or watching this episode of the Bakery Podcast. Thanks to those of you who are returning fans, and if you're new, don't forget to hit the follow button. And remember, if you're a busybody and prefer to listen on the move, follow me on Spotify, just search at the Bakery Podcast. I'm joined today by a gentleman who has competed within and helped build competitive Call of Duty to what we know it to be today. One of Envy's founders, somebody who has now co-founded the rapidly growing Control Meal Replacement Shake, and recently founded Papercrowns, an award-winning creative and marketing agency. Entrepreneur Skyler Johnson, or as you may know him on COD 4, Foreplay. How are you, bro?
Appreciate that, man. And look at that intro. You practiced that enough?
Yeah, well, slowly, little bit, bro. I'm getting there.
All right.
Maybe a little. Yeah.
I respect it.
So I usually open with an icebreaker, and usually I ask kind of top 5 crisps, like potato chips and flavors.
Okay.
But for you, I've switched it up. I want to know what your top 3 protein snacks are.
Protein snacks. All right, I got this easy. Business partners might hate me for saying this because it might mean something. Chips for sure. I've been rocking those chips for sure. You protein snacks, right? Like in general, not just shakes.
Yeah.
So we'll go flaming Cheeto, spicy, like crisps, like chips. For sure. I think they have like 14 grams of protein. A huge key lime. Anything key lime.
Yeah.
Key lime. These little protein bites that I love. And then lately, just because I'm trying to cut a lot of weight, I got to get back down into healthy mode. I'm trying to do the homemade ones. We do peanut butter, roll it in oats. I don't know if you've done this, but if not, I'm sitting here after and put coconut flakes on it. Fire. I'll tell you about it later. But
yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good. I might have to look at that. So I just want to kind of try and get into a bit of your origins, kind of like where did your love for gaming stem from? I mean, did you play many games through your childhood? Considering, I mean, you're obviously such a creative personality, right? I mean, did you spend more time outside and being adventurous? Like,
no, dude. I thought it was football, American football. I thought that was the dream, right? Like I grew up telling everyone. My parents would introduce me as this. Oh, this is my son. He's going to be in the NFL. So I kind of thought I had to live up to that. So I started at Pee Wee football from 7 to college, and then I got hurt. So I didn't really play any games outside of SOCOM. I messed around on SOCOM a little bit, Halo 2 a little bit, but none of that was as serious as I thought it was going to be. I didn't even know you could make money through gaming until was it 2000, maybe 2005 or 6. I stumbled across this USA Network thing watching Final Boss versus Carbon. I was super young and that's really cool. And then after that, 2008, COD 4 dropped, or 2007. But going into 2008, I saw Major League Gaming, and I knew you could make some money on there. So I was like, all right, let's go. It's time, because I just came off an injury. Yeah. So I needed something to do, and I was pretty competitive. Had friends playing. We thought we were better than we were, but Envy was born, and that's the story on that.
So I mean, where did the name Foreplay come from?
So originally started as Truly Blessed. Truly Blessed was my original OG gamer tag, but I didn't actually, because I have that tatted on me. It's like a nickname my mom gave me. So when I was born, apparently, I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but I had like a tube stuck through my neck. She thought I was gonna die, so she's like, "You're my truly blessed son." So I kind of grew up with that. And then in football, I thought I was cooler than I was, so I had that as my thing also. And I didn't want to tarnish that name. So Foreplay kind of came up right after my first year of competing as a pro. I was like, I got to switch this up because people were talking some shit, I didn't want it to kind of fit into who I was and all that. So I changed it to Foreplay. I wanted it to be as risque as possible. Like I wanted Puckett to be talking about Foreplay on camera. I wanted to be doing the same thing. It was like kind of messed up. And then there was a PC pro called Climax. I thought that was really cool as well. Yeah,
I like it. I mean, when it came to previous lovers, like, were they aware that your gaming alias was Foreplay? And if so, did it add an expectation in the bedroom, or?
Bro, I kept it so quiet, man. I was like, but they did find out, and then I would always just get the look. The look. They're like, really, But other than that, man, it was awful. There was nothing that came of that. It was not a positive situation.
Right. So I mean, you get your hands on COD 4, right? What's different with this game? Like, clearly it fed into some competitive nature that you had, right? I mean, your game battles record was like 1,500 wins.
Yeah, we just winning, man. I just wanted to win everything. Like my teammates would hate it because like we would get a match against, game battles. You get a match against someone who's like 0-14. You don't really have to try, but I'm in there sweating. Yeah. I'm in there like, dude, we got to win by. It's just competitive. You know how it is. If you win once, you got to keep winning as much as you can. So especially we're in NW2, into Black Ops 2, the whole way across the board. It was just about create a win mentality to where like hopefully it carries over in the big tournament. Hopefully it does this and that, but
Yeah,
just
yeah.
win.
I mean, where did your love for like that first person shooter like concept come from? I mean, what was it about COD 4 that really stood out for you?
I would say I just needed something to do. Like I don't have one of those cool stories. Mine
Yeah,
was like I was gaining weight. I gained like 117 pounds. I was sedentary, doing nothing, just being a fat slob,
yeah.
awful. And then sorry about that. I
That's
picked
cool.
up COD 4. Yeah, it's all natural here. So I picked up COD 4 just because of what it was, man. It the beta dropped, and that's when I fell in love with it truly. The beta dropped for COD 4. There was only like 2 maps or something like that, but I loved it. And it was simple. I think that's the reason I love that game is how simple it was. You know,
Yeah,
stunning a nade. Yeah, called it a day.
yeah, yeah. I mean, in terms of obviously COD 4, that led to the creation of Envy, right? Where did Envy all start? Like, when did you realize the potential for it?
Right away. I saw how much we were playing pubs, and there was a thing that dropped called the Pro Circuit Ladder.
Yeah.
And I knew at the time, and no one really knows this either. There's a handful of people, OGs, that have been around, but Envy it used to be called Flatline. I'm so thankful I didn't
Oh
stick with that
damn.
name. It was Flatline for 3 weeks. We created a GB page, and we actually lost our first 4 matches, so we dropped that real quick. We made Envy, and I got envious just from looking at my I think at the time it was like an iPod Shuffle or one of the ones that had their first digital or whatever, where you could see.
Yeah.
It was one of the first iPods, and I was looking at it, and I was just I saw the word envy us, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool if we switched it. Not a cool story behind that either, but we started sketching out logos, and then Envy was born. Cool story. In 2008, we were the only team that stuck together the whole year.
Yeah.
We didn't switch monsters, so we went through a lot of losses and wins together, but we never really placed outside the top 4. We got lucky there. So
Yeah, but that's what consistency gets you, right? I mean, the problem now, like especially in today's Call of Duty scene, especially amateurs, is they don't stick together for longer than a week. There's consistent changes every week, so you know
that chemistry,
Yeah,
you need to know. And this is long before the days of bait and switch was a thing, right?
yeah,
Like this is like you need to know what your people are doing, what the strengths and weaknesses are. And I try to preach that to people so much. It's you know, the easy way is get 4 slayers or now 5 slayers on a team and see what happens. But you need those unselfish people that are kind of down to make some plays that you probably wouldn't want to. So
yeah. I mean, Envy and Fear were the top dogs back in like COD 4 days, right? But what for you was the clear difference? Say again?
can we give you some credit for the history? Like what's going on
Bro,
here?
but I haven't even started
How
yet. Don't worry.
I need to interview you next. This is crazy.
I mean, Envy and Fear, you know, that you were top dogs, right? But for you,
Right.
what were the clear differences that kind of led to Envy becoming, you know, this multi-game powerhouse that it is today, and Fear pretty much falling off, you know? What do you think was like the...
Professionalism, and not yeah, it 100% would have came down to. So in the 2008-2009 season, it was literally all about just playing and winning. 2010, we knew that we needed to bring on someone else, Hastro. We brought on Hastro to kind of build out the business development side of things while we were playing. So we brought in our sponsors. I think at the time we were rocking Triton headsets, Gunner Optics. I don't remember who else we had. Someone was paying our rent, I think, as well. And we were just focused on playing. So we had Hastro building out a business model, but then it really started to take a turn when we started focusing on streaming on Justin TV before it was Twitch.
Yeah.
So we were streaming way back then using like Mount Eden soundtracks or whatever it is and all this crazy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we were trying to build something out back in the day. We were making YouTube videos that nobody was watching. We were just really trying to focus on what we thought it could be, which it became.
Yeah.
And we did that really early. Even if you go back and look, man, I think I dropped more montages than anyone still to this day. And I've retired or whatever it's been. So
Damn.
yeah.
I mean, what would you have done differently if you were the CEO of Fear? What do you think you'd have done differently to kind of keep that brand alive?
They were just like raw. Like they were real though. I'll give them a lot of credit. They had real personalities, but those real personalities probably didn't attract those sponsors the way that they could have.
Yeah.
And those dudes, man, they're all so good, like people overall. But they always had some drama. They always had some things that just made they fell apart a little bit because of the loyalty.
Yeah.
And I think also shout out to Moho on this, but he just never wanted to step down. He was always kind of a player on there. I knew when my time was done, I needed to step away from the COD scene, and I needed to let other people kind of carry the brand. I think that's one of the bigger things is like know when to hang it up.
Yeah. I mean, what made you step back from being a player? Like, what was it? What was that moment?
I would say I just wasn't competing the same, right? Like my role was always a support player. I tried to slide into a little bit of an OBJ and focus on that a little bit, but that didn't really work. I just think I lost competitive passion to have fun getting on and playing all the time.
Yeah.
So like for me, I just step away, try to slide into being a coach a little bit, and then see how that goes. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, was it like, I suppose almost like a conflict of interest, right? Because from a co-founder point of view of MV2, I'm assuming you're looking for the kind of future of MV2 and trying to focus that alongside your own career. So
yeah, it got weird, man. I was teaming with a guy at Stainville forever. Him and I were like, we were running things together, and he built out. Basically, we split into NV Black and NV Blue. It was a weird time in the NV history. He was NV Blue, I was NV Black, and we ended up playing each other. By the way, if you ever watched the Stainville, I'm 2-0 against you. Remember that. But we ended up beating him, and it wasn't for the better part. Because like the team I had shouldn't have beat them. I was teaming with Burns, Blind Flyer, and Dito at the time. And we pulled up some upset on them, and they were supposed to win, right? So when that happened, a piece of me was like, okay, I still got it. But then at the end of the day, it wasn't the best thing because I think that NV Blue at the time had Fears, Scump, and someone else on that roster. They were like running things. So I think that's when it got weird, was just having two split teams we didn't need to have. Yeah, that's probably it. I just had to step away. I think once I started seeing the brand start to get divided internally.
Yeah. I mean, first thing I'm going to do is get into a bit of Skyler trivia. So I've got a little question for you here. See how well you know this. Which one of your 2013 MLG Spring Championship teammates has gone on to be a coach within COD?
Revan?
No.
Did I do that right? Oh, wait, 2013
MLG Spring Championship.
Okay, so I'm trying to think. We got Revan, Cinder. I feel like I've teamed with everyone in the history of the world now. Teep. I don't know. You already stumped me on the first one. Who is it? Can I know that? Because now I'm like really interested.
It's Sender, bro. Troy Sender Michaels. He's gone on to be the Huntsman coach, right?
But Sender, wait, I thought you meant on Envy.
No, this is when you were unaware. You played on Unaware,
I was naming Envy people. That doesn't count. Hold on, run it back. That doesn't count.
Right.
Awesome, though.
I mean, kind of looking at Envy's success over the years must feel surreal, right? Like knowing that something you started, I'm assuming, was probably just an idea in a bedroom, right? And has now supported and built careers for life for a lot of people, along with growing esports, the scene as a whole. I mean, how does that feel to look back on?
Insanity. I can't put it into words ever, man. People think that it's just this, think about how many game battles teams or how many teams have started, right? And we didn't have this vision in mind. No one did, no matter what they say. No one thought it could be what it is now. And the best thing that you said out of that statement was providing opportunities for others. You know how many careers we've helped push? You know how many, like, and that to me is so important, and not like in some corny way, like in an honest, like, hey bro, I remember you when you couldn't do laundry, or I remember you when you couldn't pay your phone bill. You know, like those type of situations for me, they're all like younger brothers for me, man. Like I remember Proof and Sharp, and just going down the list of the laundry list of teammates that I personally had the luxury of playing with and getting to know their families. And who knows, man? Like I never would have thought of it in the wildest days. My mom still doesn't even know what it is, right? Like she'll just be like, oh, good job. You're just doing great. Like,
yeah. So, I mean, look, it's clear that you've got some sense of loyalty, right? You brought your boys up with you in a sense. It's great. Yeah.
Bro, anyone I see or know, everyone knows that. Like that's, you have to know. Like you've sat in and like the people that need to be by you and the people that don't. And I try to carry that mentality to every business. It's equally the same with the businesses. Everyone needs to eat. And if you put in that initial work in years 1 through 3, the years that are the hardest, that make you want to quit, then you need to be rewarded. And if not, then I don't think you're in with the right people.
Yeah. I mean, what were you like? I mean, obviously post MV, you still kind of played, right? Like I said, just with Aware and stuff like that. What were your aspirations as a player? I mean, you continued to compete until I think it was Ghosts. What made you stop?
I wanted to build. So I was on Denial before Denial was what it became. God, I don't even want to tap that out. But there was that Aware. I was on Icons Black for a little bit, and I did a lot of those to try to give back to orgs, and I thought it would be cool to jump from, right? Like, I knew I could have created another Envy spinoff, or I could have sat on that team, but I wanted to, like, team with I was teaming with a guy named BL Fire, Burns, Hysteria, Dito, like some dudes that I felt weren't getting that push to the next level. And then look at what they went on to do, right?
Yeah.
Like Burns went on to go do his thing. BL Fire still went on to do his. Like, and that was important for me. So at least I got to use my name and who I was and my, I don't want to say legacy because corny as hell, but just whatever I've done to be able to kind of push to that next level. And I still enjoyed the game. COD is just, I still play COD to this day. I'll play COD till I'm 90 years old.
I mean, are you enjoying Warzone? Do you play much Warzone at the moment?
Warzone, and then low-key gunfight. I am a gunfight fiend. I play gunfight every night by myself if need be. Doesn't matter. I will get on there and shit talk some people. And gamer tag is foreplay backwards. No one really knows. It's like Yaploff or whatever it is, bro. And it's just, you wouldn't even. It's crazy. My friends will be like, "Why are you on gunfight? No one plays that." And I'm like, because it's fun as shit. You just shit on kids. Talk some shit, have a good time, and get off, man. So,
I think, bro, you're stuck in like the Modern Warfare 2 public lobby era, right? Like just pure bullshit.
Always, dude. I'll never leave it.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine you were competing for quite some time, right? So you've obviously got some competitive nature that you like to fulfill. So when you stopped competing, like, how did you feel lackluster? How did you fulfill that sense of competition?
Business. I dove face first into business, bro. I knew that I think it's all about just competitive attitude, bro. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but like even sending emails, setting up businesses, watching them thrive, right? Yeah. Like for me, it was jumping into something, putting your all into it, and then watching it grow.
Yeah.
It's addicting. It is addicting to be able to grow something from nothing. And that's why I love just starting businesses. Like, I've started 2 more businesses and sold them that I haven't even got a chance to tell people about because I got to be quiet on.
I think I read on one earlier. I won't say anything yet. Maybe we'll talk about it in the podcast, but I read on one just a little earlier on.
Yeah, there's a couple out there, man, and there's one of them that's doing really well, and it kind of pisses me off, but I'm happy for the person. So it's like, should have stuck with it.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome, man. That's awesome, for real. I mean, I can also imagine stepping back meant a lot of free time, right? Like a lot more passion that you could put elsewhere and drive. Did this kind of begin to really breed that entrepreneur within you? Like, is this when you really started to kind of realize just how creative you were?
I needed to learn, man. Like, I needed so much. And I just started listening and soaking things up like a sponge and throwing myself in awkward situations. People don't know even this. Like, I left G Fuel, bro, and I went to work for a sunroom company. I don't know if you know what sunrooms are, but there's a company. Basically, do you know what sunrooms are over there? Like, do you guys have those? They're like basically like an outside extension of your home. Yeah, dude. Me neither.
No.
Me neither, bro. But I went to go work for it, not because I needed a job or I knew I could live in esports, right?
Yeah.
But I needed to learn how to market for something that was uncomfortable. So this demographic is 35 to 70 years old or whatever it is. And I didn't know the first thing of that. So what I did is I took this job and I tried to run with it and say, okay, if I could do this, then I could probably come back to esports, start an agency and do whatever I need to do. So a year later, that's exactly what I did. And in that process, I stepped back away from gaming and everything and kind of just found out, hey, what am I going to do with my life? Because this career thing goes way past gaming, right? Like the lifespan of you as a pro gamer. This is not a career as a pro gamer, right? Like some people have very successful careers, get a lot of checks and a lot of cash, but even that's going to run out eventually.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it's finding out what that future looks like. And for me, it's brighter now than it was because I had a lot of questions about like, what am I going to do? Am I going to get back into YouTube? I tried that. That wasn't for me, you know.
Yeah. I was looking at your YouTube channel. You did that I'm back video, right? And it looked so hype. I thought, like he's gonna start cracking out some crazy content. And then I think you did a few like fitness uploads, right? And then just kind of died off again.
That was it, man. I think I don't want to talk about how cool I am or cool how you could be or cool I think I just got over it, man. Like I was like, and I hated doing the, hey, what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? You know what I mean? Like I want to work and I want to just crush it. Like, dude, you can same thing via like Twitter or popping on Instagram story or you know, I love getting with people, but it wasn't like sit down, edit a video, make it fire, check the, you know, it's too much, man.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, just right, like how this, you know, the life of a pro player is pretty much, it's not gonna last forever. A lot of these pro players have got maybe 10 years in the game before they start to kind of slither away. I mean, obviously the likes of like Clayster and stuff, these guys have been playing forever, right?
Legends, bro.
But this is the thing, like these legends, they've built a following, so when they come out of the game, they've got enough following to go into something else. Their personalities, they can sell their personality to anyone. But
Yeah.
like my biggest worry is like a lot of these pro players that are coming through now are like they're not even focusing on building this following. You know, like what else have you got? What else are you doing right now? Because there's a lot of these smaller pro players that are on these rosters that might not be there next year. You know,
Bro,
might not be there the
you know,
year after.
That's even that thought process you have is something that I wish more people would raise awareness to.
Yeah.
Because that's not only detrimental to the players, but you know how detrimental that is to a team that just paid 25 million to get into a league?
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Advertising is everything, bro.
If let's say 3-4 years from now, all
Yeah.
these personalities, big names, all of a sudden start to transition, what are we going to do then?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
how many views are we really going to get unless the league is at that point?
Yeah.
So right now it's a battle for the league to grow equally to catch up to where these personalities are. And I mean, I see a lot of I love COD tweets, so maybe that's what's going on. But
maybe. I mean, it's like, you know, you look at the likes of a lot of people were questioning why Sensor got on the New York Subliners team. Like, what? I mean, look, they paid 25 million for a slot, and he's got almost 1 million Twitter followers. Like, yo, come on, advertising, bro, do the math. Like, he's a personality. This is what they need. Personality is the only way they're going to start putting in more viewership, right?
You're so right. One thing about Delco, man, is he grinds, bro. You can't say he doesn't. He literally, like, I've watched him. He just plays all the time. Like, he doesn't want to give up, you know.
Yeah.
And that to me, his personality is like, love him or hate him, he's gonna work. He's gonna work at everything.
I think that no matter what we've done, like if you know, let's say next year or the year after he is on a pro roster, he's definitely going to be an entertainer. He's always going to have some value, you know what I mean, in terms of entertainment, whether he casts, whether he has involvement. He's always going to have that involvement because he's driven like that. So, you know, Doug's got that opportunity to build a career outside of Call of Duty. But I think, as we were saying, just a lot of these pro players haven't. A lot of them haven't even built a personality. A lot of them are pretty in a shell. They can't even really talk to people. So
I think it would help. Maybe the league could get behind that, right? Like, I want to see some getting to know so-and-sos, like some random players. Like, there's so much more that can be done. Or even the teams in general. And you'll probably get me ranting over here, man. But, like, why don't the teams do, like, I see some people doing it, like the sit-downs, the get-to-knows. But, like, even the tips, like, back in the day, I feel like more people were talking about, like, tips or key spots. And it's not like you're giving away secrets. Everyone knows what you're doing. Just call them out to the community. Like, let people know.
Yeah.
You know.
I just don't. There's not as much community content as there used to be, right? Like if you go back like maybe 5-6 years ago when you had like consistent optic content, consistent content from like pretty much most organizations, and it was just like more community based. You know, a lot you got to know a lot of the pro names and you know you got to know a lot of the people. But I mean, going into this year, there's so many names that have come through from the like top tier amateur rosters, and like we don't even know who they are. You just know their Twitter at, and that's it. Like you don't know anything about them. And it's just, I just don't think it's good for future. It's just not good. But
by the way, shout out to Team War, bro. I was over last year watching. I was at one of the open brackets. Like I was just sitting there, and I remember War did some runs, bro. I was watching like, who are these guys? All right,
yeah, they're pretty nasty, bro. They're back to back Open Challenger champions. So they've won 5 in a row. Yeah, pretty much. They've pretty much toppled Europe, bro.
Someone needs to say something.
Yeah, Europe is basically wars. It is what it is. Yeah,
that's crazy. Europe to me, Europe never got the love. Like, dude, you guys have had some gunners, bro. Europe. What I hated about Europe sometimes is you guys would have really good players with such a high caliber, but they would never go anywhere because they couldn't. Like, I felt like they were just shackled unless they came over to a U.S. team. Like I used to love the Sour brothers back in the day. Those were all, bro. I don't know if you knew them way back in the day, but they you guys had a lot of talent that I felt really couldn't progress. Kind of felt like you guys were being held back almost. Yeah,
I think like one thing about the UK is like we have a crazy fan base too. Like for example, CDL London, like our crowds are always crazy. You know, like we're real. Like our fans go crazy, bro. So
real
fans.
Yeah,
they just need to.
They're not there to meet Nate Shot and get a T-shirt signed. Like they're there to chant and watch.
Bro, if I meet Nate Shot, I'm gonna pick him up and run off with him, bro. Like somewhere, just to get a beer, you know. Oh fuck that. Yeah, I'm not gonna ask him for a signature. No way.
And that's what...
He's fucking crazy. It's just, I don't know. I just think if the CDL was investing more into like Europe as a whole, I mean, obviously we've got Paris and London, right, are the two kind of events, but the rest of it's all NA pretty much, you know, and there's a lot of events.
You guys haven't been given anything because obviously the unfortunate pandemic, but now it's like worse. Sorry, I'm trying to change my lighting so you guys can see me.
No, that's cool.
Dark over here. Like,
I mean, I've got a bit more trivia for you, so let's try and test you a little more, yeah? So,
let's do it.
back on COD 4, when you were kind of, going through those whole grind sessions, do you remember which perk from the perk 1 slot was banned in Europe, but was okay to use in the NA rule set?
3 stun?
Yes, bro, you got it. Yeah.
Of course. But then after 2008, we ended up banning 3 stun, and it became the perfect COD. 1 stun or smoke and 1 nade.
Oh, really?
That's it.
Damn.
Yep. So in 2009, we ended up we banned it, and that's when AOX, or shout out Clayster, he disappeared because they were 3 stun warriors, and he knows it, man.
Bro, I actually DM Clayster today. I was like, bro, I'm interviewing Skyler tonight. I was like, have you got any like old trivia that you can give me to ask him? And he was like, I can't remember if it was him or Hastro that I beat in like some, is it LRC or IIRC tournament? I forgot what he said.
Oh, who talks about that? That's like, I can't even remember the tournament name, and I don't even know. What did he beat us in?
He said, I'm pretty sure I'm the one that, he says, I think it was the last time I played them in the career. I was like, damn, you're a career ender. He was like, maybe.
Don't let him tell you that, bro. Don't make us pull up the Clay. He's the guy that anytime I connect with Clay, man, him and I, we just chat about what it was versus what it is now. And it, good for him. He's had a good career,
Oh,
like,
bro,
he's
crazy
really
career. Yeah.
Weirdo, bro. Clay, you were a weirdo, man. You know that back in the day.
So I want to get onto Control, right? What inspired Control?
Sedentary lifestyles, gaining weight, my story. I think we all have a purpose to try to get better and to try to, like, the fitness world is so different, man. I see that you're a tank. Obviously, you know about the fitness world, right?
Yeah.
You know what you're doing, and I don't think it's preached on enough. I think people show off their physiques, but they don't talk about how they got there. Yeah. And then the way that they do it is so educational and boring that it's hard to get like a gamer or someone in our community to commit on that. So I think Troll wanted to take an approach like, listen, we're not trying to get you stage ready. We're trying to provide a meal replacement. We're trying to say, hey, if you're streaming, creating, doing a podcast, whatever it is, and you get hungry, literally 2 scoops, some water, some almond milk, whatever you want, and then you have a meal. So it was just important. I think the community needed it. Obviously, I say that bias, but it's just the growth in what we can do from this product, to me, is just the most exciting thing, because I've worked for some other ones. I know what it's like to work for the energy drink section. I know what it's like.
Gamma Labs.
Yeah, and like, for me, that's cool, but there's a ceiling to that, right? Yeah. I think when you're providing nutritional value to people and they can cut through your products, like if I sent you over the nutrition statement previous to this, like there's a lot in that, right? Like we loaded that thing up with as many things as we could. So
yeah. I mean, did it mainly stem from this new love for fitness, or did you kind of see like an untapped market? I mean, obviously being the previous COO of Gamma Labs, has that kind of given you like an edge into this market?
1 billion%, man. So there's not only a need in this market. So the whole thing about Control is like your keyboard, right? Like you have your control key. But the reason that we wanted to make it was catered to real life, because we want to get outside of this. We don't want to just compete inside of some gaming space, right? We want this to be a lifestyle product, even though I hate that damn word, just a life product that everyone can use for a purpose. And I think that's the most, like, the best part is imagine us in, let's say 2 years, we have a ready to drink version where you could just go into Tesco or wherever you're shopping, and you know, I don't know if the Tesco would be the spot, but you can grab your ready to drink and you're just on the go. Like, why don't those exist more? I know Huel and Soylent kind of dominate a market. And that's a problem. If there's only 2 that I can personally name, that's a problem. That means I want to come take 1 and 2 away and try to become that one or not, you know? So, and that's the thing. But if you talk energy drinks, then there's a laundry list of those. So that means it's something that I shouldn't be part of.
Yeah. I mean, getting a bit onto fitness, like, so what inspired your whole kind of fitness grind? As you said, was it pretty much you were just going through like a lazy period in your life, or?
Insecurity, 1,000%. I was scared to be on interviews. I was scared to be on, just insecurity, bro. Like, I was a slob. Like, like, I'm so open about it, because I think that's how, if you can address what you were, what you're trying to be and all that, it's just so much easier to speak freely.
100%.
Yeah, dude. I was just insecure to be on certain things, and then I needed a lifestyle change because my overall health, right? Like, when I put on that weight, I'll send you after this my before picture or whatever, but it was aggressive, man. It was pretty gross. And it was one of those things where, you know, my mom would be like, you sure you're healthy? You doing all right? Like, I don't know. You know, so, and it was just an overall, I started doing 2-a-days, but the coolest thing about it is a lot of people don't know this. We had a Gunner Optic COD LAN in 2012 or 2013.
Yeah.
Doug, Merck, Big T, the whole gang of folks came down, and we were just hanging out. We all went to the gym together. I got Doug into working out. So like Doug will always attribute, my dog is crazy if you hear her, by the way.
It's cool.
You'll always appreciate it. You always attribute that to like, hey, you got me into working out. And that is one of the coolest things ever because you changed someone's lifestyle again, right?
Yeah. I mean, how do you find the gym? Like, what is it to you? Like, what value does that bring to you now?
Same thing I know it does to you without even asking you is therapy.
Yeah,
you know damn well that you go in there and you forget about everything.
I'm fucking crazy right now, bro. Literally, I'm going fucking insane.
And this is what I knew, man. Anyone that's in that workout grind, you gotta stop. Anyone that's in that workout grind, they understand. Like it's therapy. Do you find yourself having trouble not working out? Like what process do you go through daily for this?
Okay, so I know the exact day. The last day I went to the gym was March 16th. I remember exactly what I trained. It was chest. I did 32 sets of flat bench. Bro, I could cry. I swear. It gets me so angry. Like, so originally for me, like gym, like the whole process with gym was, so I was like you, right? So I was lazy. I was weighing like 340 pounds. I'm 6'3", so I'm a big guy and I've got a big frame, right? But I was carrying the weight kind of well, but I still knew, I knew, just like you said, I was in denial. I knew I was a fucking big guy. I knew I was lazy. I knew that I wasn't healthy, but it just took a kick for me to get into it. And my younger brother, he's like 2 years younger than me. He was in fucking incredible shape. Like he was like bodybuilding shape, like incredible physique. And I thought, yo, I've got the same genes as this kid, Joe. So like, surely I can do this. So I started going to the gym and I was doing just fasted cardio, right? 6 a.m. walks, like incline walks on the treadmill. I was doing 6 a.m. walks and I was wrapping like my whole torso in cling film just to like drive the sweat out, right? So I lost 2 stone in 4 weeks. Majority was like water weight, obviously. A lot of water weight and stuff come off. But I cleaned my diet straight up. I started hitting pure chicken, broccoli, oats and honey in the morning. Just everything was chicken, broccoli, fish. Just that was it. That's all I ate for about 3 months. And I went from like, I'd say about 330 pounds to like about 285. And I was feeling pretty good again. And then my younger brother was like, yo, why don't you come and do some weights? Because at the time it was just like, I was only going to the cardio. And I remember that first day of bench, like I said to you earlier, like my first ever day of bench press in my life. It was the first time I'd ever even done any bench press. Like I think I flat benched like 265 pounds. And my brother was like, bro, you realise like that's strong. And like obviously like I didn't really like have a concept of what strong was because I didn't go to the gym, so I didn't know what he meant by that. I was just like, all I can tell you is that felt normal. And then before I knew it, I went from 265 pounds to hold on,
just so you know, like that's like next level strong.
I'm about to Google my current bench press in pounds so I can tell you the weight. Oh, okay. So my bench press just before the gyms closed was 573 pounds.
Bro, like come on, man. Like don't talk to me about I know being big when you're like that's most I ever got to was 485 for 2. And that was when like I'm still big, right? Like I know what you're going through. Like It's not like you'll ever be small, probably. No, that's not in the cards. The best we can hope for is to taper that up a little bit and see what we got going on. So. Yeah.
I'm just going through like at the moment. Like, I know I've got such a love. I have such a love for weight more than anything. Like when I started the gym, it was like a love for like losing weight, and then before I knew it, it was just an obsession of being strong. And that's all it's been for the last 3 years. Is just I'm so obsessed with being strong, right? But it's like I always trained with this concept. One of the first guys that I ever kind of met when I started training was called Joey, and his nickname is the Titan. And he's in incredible shape, like proper like IFBB bodybuilder shape. He's unreal. And I always said to him like, "What's the secret?" And he said to me, "Everyone wants to be strong, but nobody wants to be strong for long." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Well, everyone wants a 1 rep max, right? Like everyone wants that 200 kilo bench press, but nobody wants to do 50 reps of 225. You get me?
Right.
So before I knew it, bro, like I've always trained. So like now when I go and do bench, I'll do like my warm up set is 50 reps of 225 pounds straight away. Then I'll do like 140 kilos. Sorry, bro, I don't know the pound conversions, but I'll do like 3 plates, 140 for like 20 reps, and then I'll go up 180 kilo, 10 reps, 200 kilo, 6 reps, 220 kilo, 4 reps, 240 kilo, 2 reps, 250 for 1. Then I'll go back down to 200 kilo, do like 10 sets of 4 to 6 rep range. Then I'll go to 180 kilo and do like 5 to 6 sets of like 8 to 10 rep range. Then I'll go down to 140 and do like 4 burnout sets, down to 2 plate for 4 sets. Like before I know it, I end up doing like 30 plus sets of just flat bench. But
which is big though, because your endurance. So now you're building endurance. Not only are you massive, right? And a lot of people go, oh yeah, that's how you cut it up, or that's how you, dude, you know, like having that endurance plus your strength, pure raw, like that is very impressive. I used to throw out 225, same scenario, like focus on how many times, because in the US, like any collegiate football like camp going to the NFL, right? If you go to like a pro day or anything like that, you need to see how many times you could rep 225. So, and that's like the goal. Can you get 40, 50? It sounds like I throw it a billion times. But.
Yeah. I mean, the most I've done of 225 is like 60, 62, I think. But it's like, just for me, like that motto stuck in my head. That strong for long motto just stuck in my head, because I thought, yeah, it's impressive and all, you know, benching 450, 500 pounds. Yeah, it's impressive. But what's more impressive is moving 350 pounds for 20, you know, for moving it for 25. That was what was more impressive. So I always just got my head around that. And ever since then, my bench just started to go crazy, like crazy. It was insane how fast it moved. I went from like a 190 kilo max to 240 kilo in about 5 months.
Holy.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
How? Like, what was that? Diet based? A lot of it.
Yeah.
Like
So
eating more,
my diet. Yeah. So I was averaging about 7.5k calories a day, 7.5 to 8k. But it was pretty much just red meat and pasta, bro. Literally, just red meat, pasta, chicken, pasta. No problem. Yo, stream. How are we all?
We're back. So
no problem.
My dogs are all right.
Nah, it's cool. But yeah, like I've just always had this obsession with lifting, bro, and gym. Literally. Yeah.
Do you feel that your obsession with that, do you think it's getting stronger obviously with COVID and the pandemic, like do you feel your obsession with it has gotten any, not less? Like for me, I have a hard time working out at home. Like I have this
bro, I hate it. I can't work out at home. I cannot work out at home.
Same. And that's good to hear, because I haven't, dude, like I'll get some lifts in, but it just feels so much different. Like I literally don't feel half as
It's almost like when I walk through the doors of the gym, like a whole different me comes out. It's like I turn my head around, bro. Like it's a different me, like a second side of me. And like, bro, like I will make the crazy. I will bark. I will scream. Like I've got the same thing I say every time I'm going for a 1 rep max. I literally shout, "I am not fucking average," and then I will bench press. And it's like everything, like mentally, like there's a whole new me when I enter the gym. But
bro. Does your stream know that you bark?
No, I don't think so.
Come on, bro. Like if you bark it, you gotta start throwing that into something here.
Literally, bro. Like I walk it, bro. Like when I'm going, like if I'm in the gym and I'm like hyping myself up, I'll get the ammonia, especially when I'm going for like a big deadlift, and I'll like hit some ammonia, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, and I'm just going fucking crazy, literally. But like it's just like we said earlier, man. For me, like gym is the biggest therapy. Like I can be going through anything, but the moment I touch iron, that's it. It's go mode, you know, and it just gets so much stress out of my life. But the last 3 months, I mean, it's fucking sucked, you know? The last 3 months has sucked.
Same. It's so, it's demoralizing, man. Yeah. Like for me, it's you wake up, like I just now started to get into cardio and stuff, trying to do that again. All right. And I can't even do that right. Like it's just, it's awful, bro.
Yeah. It's just the atmosphere. It's just at home, like naturally when you're at home, all you want to do is relax, all right? So when you try and change the atmosphere of home into something where you need to put yourself in that mindset of the gym, it's never going to happen. It's just not the same. I need to be in that setting so that I can feel it, so that I can put myself there. I was doing press-ups at home for like the first month. I was doing like 100, 200, 300 press-ups a day. And then you get bored, you know? Like there's only so many press-ups I can do before I get really fucking bored, bro. So,
hey man, do you have any weights or anything? Like any dumbbells?
So the problem is I have no free weights at home. I've got 4 gym memberships. I've got 4 memberships at different gyms, but no weights at home. So I pay like £130, which is like probably like $160 a month on gym, right? But I have like 4 separate gyms, and it's because each gym has like tailored machines that are better for body parts. So like I'll go to like one called Foundry for back, and I'll go to the one that's closest to me, which is called, it's just a leisure center, but it's perfect for chest. I'll go to Popeyes for leg day, and then I'll go to the other foundry for like arms and shoulders, like because they just have different machines. But I've never had anything at home. Like I've got like some 5 kilo flyweight dumbbells, and like what's the point? I can hammer curl like 65 kilo, bro. Like there's no point me even picking them up.
Good for you, bro. Like that strength is insane. Like, I would love to catch a workout with you one day. That's my goal.
Yeah,
man.
we'll do it. Yeah, we can make it.
Get a workout.
Yeah, man. I mean, so moving on with like obviously control and stuff. You know, this is your baby, right? What makes control different to other meal replacements?
Creativity. Just the expansion goals. The people running it. I don't know if you see any of our content and what we do, what we focus on. Like we want to be unique. We try to put effort into everything.
The packaging's cool as fuck. Yeah,
bro, that's one thing is like ingredients. So the company isn't outsourced. We don't outsource anything. Like we do everything internally. So the creative, the marketing, the everything is internal, right? And that's I pride myself on it because it's like a big deal. And I think I see people, and I'm not going to throw names, but companies in the space, they just throw things up. They'll use other people's content. It's just pathetic. Like for me, it's like what are you doing at that point besides just trying to chase a bag? Money comes, man. Like if you build a business for people's money, that's not the right business that I'm trying to be a part of, right? And like even if you look at the margins, I told you before we started that I even speak openly about margins. Like, did I need to put in probiotic, prebiotics? No. Digestive enzymes. Do our gamers care about that? No. Right? We don't need that. They care about the taste. However, we're providing a quality product that if someone were to post this on Reddit or someone were to post this on some forum thread and say, hey, why is this a glorified protein or something? It's like, no, bro, like look at what's in here. Really properly pay attention to your carbohydrates. Do we need BCAAs in there? No. Right? Like, all of these.
You don't need no BCAAs, bro. These gamers aren't recovering from any DOMs, you know? These guys aren't doing much. Yeah.
Yes, dude. And that was the point of making a product where if someone wants to go on a hike, they can take it. It doesn't have to be just for gaming. It could be for literally your life. And that was like the biggest thing that separates us is attention to detail and the quality of the ingredients, I think is what I would stand by the most.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you guys have got co-owners in FaZe, right? With FaZe like having, such a big involvement in it, which kind of like for me, it cements just how important it is. Clearly it's doing well. I mean, it's seeing rapid growth as we've, that's it. That's evident on social media, just how well the growth is.
Last month, I'm not going to give away numbers, I guess, because I don't know if I'm supposed to legally or whatever, but it crushed it. And a lot of that was off sample packs. So people are trying the product, getting engaged and going like, dude, I really like it. And they're coming back right away. Oh,
damn.
The return customer rate, just so you know, dude, I think it's top 1% of all Shopify stores that launched around the same area.
Yeah.
So it's like when I say business is booming, it's financially, it's whatever. Like I mean that wholeheartedly. I'm not sitting here like, oh, it doesn't mean anything. What I'm saying is like the biggest principle of this thing is, hey, we're starting to see a lifestyle, like a shift, right? You remember how like back in the day, nobody worked out and then all of a sudden everyone started working out?
Yeah, for real, bro.
That's what we're starting to see here is like everyone's starting to kind of start to pay attention to their diet. It doesn't have to be, hey, your competition stage ready. That's not what we're trying to preach. We're trying to preach like, hey, we got some good meals for you, right?
Yeah,
so if you can hear my dog.
No, it's cool, bro. No, it's absolutely fine.
Like, want to get up there.
That's fine. Cool. I was thinking, like you were saying, just about like how much fitness has moved on in the last kind of 10 years. In the last 10 years, fitness has just boomed, right? Like it's pure fucking apparel lines, Gymshark, My Protein. It's just pure apparel, pure protein lines, huge businesses, all this and that, new gym brands. And like my uncle, he was saying to me, because my uncle's just come out of the army, he was in the forces for 26 years. He's had a pretty nice payout, he was like pretty high up. He's had like a nice, a big figure payout. And we were talking the other day, and like he's like trying to work out what business to do. And I was like, bro, like if I was you, I would be getting a gym open in the next 3 weeks because they're about to boom. Because everybody's stuck in the house, right? So everyone wants to be in the gym right now. So for in my opinion, the next 12 months, the revenue that gyms are going to see is insane.
Like. About to do it? Bro, that's what I'm asking. Are you gonna do something?
I wish. I don't. I'm not in a place to right now, but he is. I'm trying to convince him. But
what about take the podcast and do it out of a gym? What about do some unique?
Love that. Yeah.
Right. Like let's make an impact. Let's try to do something.
Yeah.
I'll make some phone calls.
What's your favorite flavor, bro, of Control?
One we haven't released. I don't know if I
damn.
Bro. Cinnamon, hold on. See, this is what I love about talking to you in the UK, because no offense, your cereals suck. Bro, I've done a lot of research.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I know for a fact that you go to that little section in the store that has the US. I know.
Lucky Charms, bro. Lucky Charms every time. Yeah.
Might be one of the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have some things in the queue. You know, squishies. You guys have squishies over there, right? You know,
Squishies. Oh, the
squishies.
sweets, the little candy.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to get that to be a control flavor for the UK. Like I want that to be it,
Shit.
right? Dude, when I tell you the research I do, it dives deep into the foundations of kind of just every culture. Like I just want this thing to be fun, man. Like
Yeah.
I want people to look at this and go like, all right, they're doing it right, right?
Bro,
And
if
that's
if you get a Squishies flavor over here, most of the UK will be walking around like crackheads, 100%. For
and that's fun, man. I like because I tried to research a lot of the cereals that you guys have, and you guys aren't bringing the heat, man. You guys are not bringing the heat.
we don't. We don't. I mean, in the UK, it's pretty much a lot of. We have like English breakfast, right? Which is like sausage, bacon, egg, beans, hash browns, toast.
Beans on, yep.
Yep. Yeah, but I am a cereal fan. But you are right, bro. I literally go to Morrison's and I spend £5, which is like nearly $8 on a small box of Lucky Charms, just because it's the best cereal. It is literally the best cereal, bro, by a mile.
And you haven't had a chance to try Control yet, right? Because if not, right after this, I'm gonna send you it out. Expect honesty on that thing, and because it's all like a lot of people order a product and they're disappointed, but they'll still hype it because either they're friends with someone or they know someone, and I don't want that. Like, genuine responses only, right? And we don't get a lot of people saying they don't like it, and that to me is like, all right, we're doing something right, but it goes through a long process. The reason we launched last October and we've only had 3 flavors, it has to be perfect. Like it has to be. I don't want to do a flavor a month unless they're ready. Like right now we have 5 in the queue because they've been taking a while to get them ready. Will we drop them? I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, have you got like a business mission statement? Like, what's the mission? What's the business mission for Control?
I want to hit you with something, but it's so many. Like, right, like I sit here and I want to tile it down into one, but I would say the overall health and wellness of the people that we have in mind in our community is the first thing that we care about. So for me to put it in a mission statement, I'd be lying to you. But I think it's just raising awareness to the fact that you can supplement something. Like, for example, I don't know if you guys order food over there, but over here, like, obviously you order food, but I'm saying, do you guys have like a bunch of apps like Grubhub and Uber Eats?
We've got like Uber Eats, Just Eat, Deliveroo. There's a few different ones.
So we have that same quantity over here, and by the time you get the food, it's $20-$30 for something, and you're like, what? Like delivery, taxes. And I want to eliminate all that, right? Like, because not every time. Like, granted, and that's the thing. Like, the meal replacement market isn't about replacing everyone's food. Like, right? You can still eat your cheeseburger. You can still eat whatever the hell. Yeah. But what we're saying is, here's a replacement. So A, you don't miss a meal, and B, so hey, you can eat a little bit healthier late at night, maybe, or during the day, whenever that is, right? Like, we're not trying to supplement people's food away from them. We're trying to say, hey, here's a meal we got you as well. So
bro, for like I used to carry like when I was doing like my core strongman training, I used to carry meal replacements everywhere. Like, I would eat my full meal, then have a meal replacement straight after, then like eat a tin of tuna, bro, literally. But like, I think
you would need you would need it with that muscle, brother. You gotta eat all day, bro.
For real. Yeah, but the meal replacements in the UK are fucking trash, literally, like awful, bro. Yeah, but like they're just, the average strawberry flavored fucking it's just shit, literally.
Chalk. Yep. What do you have? Soylent and Huel? Those are the 2 you rock. Do you know if there's more?
Yeah, I know there's Huel. I don't know if there's any more. The other one might be. Let me put it up on Google real quick, because there is one more that's like pretty common, but it tastes like ass. Yeah. So, USN do one as well. USN do like a diet meal replacement. It's fucking awful. Literally, it's so bad.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because a lot of those people, like, they're trying to make it vegan. They're trying to make it so over the top.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get. I don't get, like, why does it have to be like a dirt pile?
Like, but everyone's trying to be so like consumer sensitive now, right? Like, we need to be this, we need to be that, we need to look at this.
Yeah. For us, it's about, hey, look at the nutrition statement, look at the nutrition label, find out what's in it, and then if you're sensitive to that, don't have it. But for us, it's a healthy product, right? Like, the negative about our product is 2 grams of added sugar. And that comes from the real cereal pieces. So we could even take that away if we wanted to, but I'm not going to, because it looks dope. Like,
it looks dope. Yeah. Why would you do that? Yeah.
Why do we have to lie about it?
Yeah. Right, so I'm gonna test your creative brain a little, okay? I mean, obviously you've come up with this brand, this amazing fucking meal replacement called Control. Now, you know what? Actually, I'll ask you that question in a moment. During the launch weekend of Control, right? You were in an accident that hospitalised you. I mean,
Yeah.
in a sense, any car crash is a near-death experience, right? It's pretty fucking terrifying. How did you kind of have any teachings or learnings from that experience?
Everything, bro. Like, it was the weirdest thing, man. If I even told you how, I'll just tell you how it happened. I haven't really told anyone. I just talked about it on Twitter the other day, by the way, for the first time. So
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
things like I hate when people go, "Oh, this happened." Like it's just not my thing. But I was driving right, and there's just like, you ever see those cartoons where it looks like a truck is full of like crazy things that shouldn't be on that truck, like it's just piled high. And it looks like this. That's exactly what was happening. And this truck was in front of me, and they lost a mannequin in the middle of the road. A mannequin, bro. So there's this clown mannequin in the middle of the road.
That's fucking terrifying, bro.
The weirdest thing. And right after we launched Control, it was like October 4th weekend, so I'm super hyped. I'm like amped on this thing. And then the car slams on its brakes right in front of me, and I'm going probably 60, 65, slamming into them. But the worst part is this car swerves from the mannequin, hits me. The car behind me hits me. I went out, right? And I wake up, kid you not, the car in front of me is on fire. I don't know if that was from me or not. But I wake up and I'm like, I don't know if you've been in a wreck, but it is the worst thing ever to wake up if you've been knocked out for. The airbag, I think, got me a little bit. But I wake up, dude, and I feel like this. And I'm a big dude. Yeah. And I was in like a nice car or whatever, like a decent, like when I say nice, not like value-wise, I mean like nice as in like protection. Like I was in a Mercedes, and they're known to be, hey, we protect the hell out of you. Yeah. So, dude, I'm like this, sardine in it, and not even know what's going on. It was the most eye-opening experience to like, why am I getting angry at little things? Yeah. Right? Like, you know, why do I get mad if my dog's whining? Like, why do I get mad at just little things, man? I think that really told me appreciate what you're doing more. You know what I mean? Step back, slow it down. Like slow things down. Enjoy this journey that you're on every time, because sometimes I want it now, right? Like I'm already thinking about what's the next expansion of Control. What retail stores are we pushing? What are we doing here? But I'm not like I never slow down to enjoy it, and I gotta do that more. And highly recommend anyone listening, and I'm sure you do as well. Just gotta slow it down, right? Yeah.
So. Yeah, man, that's quite inspiring, bro. Oh, that's a cool story. I like that. You should probably tell that more.
Yeah, shout out to the mannequin, bro. That I'm not even kidding. If I wish I was making it up, it was a clown mannequin. I'll never forget it. It was the last thing I saw before I didn't. Yeah.
I mean, bro, thank God you didn't die. But if you did die, that'd be a fucking awful last thought. A clown mannequin. What?
I would be so disappointed, bro. I would like in whatever ghost moment afterlife or whatever's going on here. I would be so disappointed in my life if I don't even want to talk about that. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, so you've got Control, right? Now, I want to test your creative mind. So you've got Control, and if you had to start two alternative businesses, one named Alt and one named Delete, what would they be based around?
Oh, that's an easy one. I've already thought of it. So we've actually got you're ruining things, man. So that's awesome you said that, though. So Alt was actually going to be like the alter ego of Control. So Alt was going to be basically like coming in as this not healthy kind of like shift, alter your life type of thing. And we were going to do like over the top claims, because you see some of Control's marketing claims, right? Like it's like, we try to be funny. We try to just be our voice. Like we have a dude, Kevin, who just kills it for us. But so Alt would be this over the top alternative lifestyle, kind of grungy, but like epic mealtime-esque. That would be Alt. Like Alt would be this, maybe throw everything that you eat in a day when you're powerlifting in a blender. That would be Alt.
Oh yeah. I'll buy a lot of that, bro. I'll buy loads of that.
Cans of tuna. And then Delete was actually, what was Delete we had? Well, honestly, if I could start another business and actually make it something, I think Delete would probably be a flavored water. Like honestly, just because it's getting away from what Delete actually is. But I have another product that I want to drop that ridiculous. Hold up.
That's cool. No problem.
They do what they want, man. They control the show, man. Do you want me to go fix that?
No, you're cool. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think Delete would just be flavored water. I think there needs to be more, not powder-based flavored water, but just more ready-to-drink water with flavor that's healthy for you. And especially over here in the US, it's Gatorade loaded with 50 grams of sugar. There's like a lot of weird stuff over here that I just think needs to be more readily available. I'd love to do a ready to drink flavored water. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I like it. I'm surprised that you already had that on the mind. I'm impressed.
Oh, we joke internally. You got to realize we have these work days online, so we're hanging out on Discord thinking like, oh, we should do alt, and then we've developed like this alter ego with like the logo. It actually might still come to fruition. So,
bro, you should do one called Enter as well, and make it like a fucking super focused pre-workout, and like you enter the dragon, you know.
that we didn't think of. That I love, right?
Yeah.
And these are the scariest thing is we don't classify as a sports nutrition or sports supplement brand legally. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure we went into this thing as an actual conventional food item, like we are a meal replacement. So when you start going into that lane, it's scary because I don't want too many people to think we're just a protein. But I agree with you. Like I want to go down that path eventually. I just want to make sure we do it on a separate, like spin-off, right? Like let control live by itself. But we have some plans, man. We have some crazy good plans for snacks and I want to really.
Yeah,
dude, you'll love it. I promise, and it's good for the lifestyle, bro.
Yeah,
like, that's the best thing.
Right, let's test a little more trivia, okay? So, COD 4 had 20 maps, 20 multiplayer maps. Yeah? Now, can you tell me the 4 maps that began with the letter B?
Oh, okay. Bog is the first one that comes to mind. Block is the second.
Yeah.
Letter B, damn, that's a good question. Block. Hold on, keep it going. Backlot is another one. That's 3. Give me that 4th. Hold on. 4th was probably some stupid expansion map, or no?
It bro. It was the first expansion.
That's when it got weird because I never got a chance to play them. I was in customs all day, or scrims. Expansion map. Was it wasn't Chinatown? Why did I go there right away?
Chinatown was on the same expansion though.
Was it you might get me. I know what it looks like though. Was it the one? Was there wood everywhere? Like not a shipment style, but like was it a smaller map? Or no.
No.
Okay, then I wouldn't know. Could you tell me? Because I'm trying.
There's a copy of it now on Warzone TV station, you know, but it wasn't called TV station. It was called Broadcast.
Broadcast, bro. And that map was actually fire, bro. Do you want to know something funny you won't believe? This is a crazy thing you won't believe.
Shoot.
I don't even know if you can test this out. But you go on COD 4, go to Vacant, and go into the back of Vacant where the laptops are. Shoot over one of the laptops, and you will see the NV. Never mind. Just
really?
Nobody knows that. First time I dropped this on a podcast, by the way. Go to and I don't know if anyone could test this. If anyone's got a 360 they could fire up or something, because I don't know if they carried that same. I don't want to promise that got carried over into the remake. But if you have a 360, go to COD 4, shoot the laptop over, and look at the bottom of the laptop. Easter egg.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Promise you. I wouldn't lie on this thing. Come on,
bro, at the moment we're done, I'm literally loading COD up straight away.
Take a picture. Do you have a way to do it? Like, do you have a 360 still or something?
No, I've got MWR, but I'm assuming surely it's the same, right? Surely it's the same.
I didn't want to say it was, like, because I truly don't know. But if not, then I might need to buy a 360 or something just to prove this.
I mean, so obviously, go on.
I'll go back and look at my videos. I might have done it. I was like, oh, look how, because it was just coincidental. That's all it was. It was very coincidental.
That's cool. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. That's like a part of history, right? That you've got like instilled in the genre forever. Just that little Easter egg, MV. Oh, that's crazy.
So many things. Yeah, there's a lot of little weird things, man. I just wish it's like, oh yeah, load up the 360. Who the hell can do that nowadays? You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. My little brother has one, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure.
I mean, look, you've got control, right? But I mean, you've got this idea for Papercrowns now, yeah? Where did this idea for Papercrowns come from?
Bro, I was tired of making other people money. No lie. I was tired of putting all my creative services towards other businesses and it wasn't reaping any benefits. I was tired of other people telling me how much I could pay people. I was tired of, we can only give him. Dude, I had a guy who's killing it now. His name is Rish. He works for Misfits in Australia. He's like their lead merch designer.
Oh, damn.
He was making $50 a month at G Fuel. $50 a month, barely paid his phone bill. Yeah, this is way back in the day, 2014, 15. Asking about it, crazy. Top tier designer. He's the homie, good friend. I had people making $250, $3. They weren't making any money, right? And this is a real deal back in the day because I was starting to develop this creative team, but they were cool with it because no one had that yet. Yeah. So what I did is I started this creative team, started bringing a bunch of people together, and then ironically enough, when I left, they all came with me. I still work with them now. So two of the guys helped me build Control.
Yeah.
So it was slow down and just don't let other people can dictate what I can do. And now we're building out big brands. Like we're working with Activision right now. I don't know if you see the bracket floating around. You see
Yeah.
the bracket? Yeah, Papercrowns built that.
Yeah.
Just launched one today with Overwatch. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Please don't tell anyone. But we're white labeling services for Scuff, Astro. Like there's a bunch of people in this space that we work for. No one knows because it's not about the credit. It's just about the art.
Yeah,
Cool shit.
yeah. I mean, like the whole concept of that business is it's ideal in the current climate, right? Because I mean, considering pretty much most people now are moving to online sale platforms, ways to kind of drive their products, their personalities. It's the perfect world.
Dude, you brought it up. Yeah, like we didn't have any transition. Like there wasn't. Everything stayed the same. You know, like my girl hates me because she goes, I have to go to work for 12 hours and be a nurse, and you just get to sit here. I was like, it's a little bit harder than just sitting here, but you know what I mean? The luxury of having a team international that has the same vision of you is the most powerful thing I've ever met. It is because of it. Yeah, and the revenue is insane, right? And I say that in a positive way because it's like, hey, you're providing solid services for these top tier companies or people, and they value what you're doing, and it's awesome because it's a new challenge every day, the new problem to solve. So important.
Have you had like an inspiration over the years? I mean, you know, you're such a creative guy. You've clearly got such a driven mindset. Is there anything that's like, is there like a character or another personality that's inspired you over these years to remain creative and driven?
My mother, maybe. She's an artist, and she never really got her breaks. Like they're outside. I mean, for me, I look up people that have multiple things going on at once and what their time allocation is, and how do you dedicate that energy. So I'd say Elon Musk, probably just because I represent like all the things that he does. There's like a laundry list of them, and I love how he goes energy here 5%, 15. That's something I personally adapted to. Is saying, hey, I'm going to put 15% here in this business, 10% here. And if you live by that motto, you have to cut it off. Right.
Yeah.
And then if you don't cut it off, you have to go, okay, listen, today I put 30% here. So tomorrow I need to put an extra 20 here. And I think Elon Musk would probably be the person, but he's so, you know, I'm sure a lot of people say that.
Yeah, but for good reason, right? For good reason, right? Because.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm with you, bro.
Have you had any kind of literature, like, have you had any literature, books, movies that have kind of like had a big impact on you?
1,000%. Willy Wonka, the original, 1973 or whatever that version was. That's what inspired the Control piece. We came out that launch video with FaZe, the animated thing.
Yeah, where you were coming through the little kind of chocolate river and stuff. Yeah, bro, that's awesome.
That was Willy Wonka meets Candyland.
Yeah.
From FaZe guys and call it a day.
Yeah, that's crazy you say that because I was literally watching that. I watched it earlier again, and when I watched it, I was like, yeah, this is like some fucking like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory shit. It literally, like, you got like the milk waterfall. You got like a milk waterfall, and it all comes down. Yeah,
dude, if you could see the original sketches, it turned out. I'm about to put out this like mini 5-minute documentary thing on the whole process of it. Yeah, that process of building that was a nightmare because we went through COVID. We couldn't fly out there. There was just so many things to that. For me, it was the biggest thing I've done in my career, just from an obstacle standpoint. I felt like there was something after the other something, and it lined up with world events, right? So there's nothing I could do about it. I just had to keep like shut up and just get it done. So
I mean, what would you say? What are your biggest fears when starting a business? Like, I guess the easiest way to put it is like with the hindsight that you've got now, what advice would you give to a 5-year younger Skyler?
I'd probably say the biggest thing for me would be make sure that you take care of the crew that you know is there and not the people that are pretending to be there. Yeah. Right? Like I've had some people along the way that have kind of like, I thought like they were with me the whole time, and then right as an opportunity where they got paid an extra $1,500, they'd jump. And that kind of sucks because I dedicate, like, if you're on my team, like, you're on my team, right? Like, I'm going to really value you. I ask about like finances with my crew a lot, like whether it's Crowns or Control. I'll be like, hey, how's your money situation? You doing all right? Like, well, let's talk about that. Like, do we need to get more gigs in? Where are you at? And I think that's a big deal for me. And then number two, I think I would have worked harder back then, right? I think for me, I thought I probably would have retired earlier from gaming, to be honest, man, because I was in a time where you weren't, dude. I won a national championship and got paid $18,000.
Yeah, I've seen it. It fucking sucks. I saw that.
Come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? That's the most I ever won in a single time. It was 18 grand. And then on game battles, I don't know if you looked at any of those, but dude, we used to play game battles matches just to pay our rent, just to pay our bills. So it was kind of pathetic, right? Like Stainville and I were playing in 2v2 on Bog, pistols only, 1v1 AK-47s. And we would play so corny. We would camp underneath things. Like, it was ridiculous. But we did that because we needed to make money and we thought we were pro gamers, right? Which we were, but not like it is today. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose, like, this is quite interesting to me. I mean, do you consider yourself to be someone with, like, almost an infectious creativity? Because like, a lot of people that have a passion to create tend to kind of make something and then they get bored pretty quickly, right? Once they've kind of achieved a set goal, and then they look for the next thing to dive into. So how do you, like, manage all the balls in the park and ensure the needs of each business are met?
You sell them. That's what I learned. You sell them, bro. You legit, like, I kid you not, man. There's 2 businesses that I was telling you that I sold. You loot, like, you build it, you get hyped to build it, and then you're like, I don't even like this thing anymore. Like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I, like, and that's a problem because a lot of people rely on you. They're like, all right, they're hyped because that's their something. But then you're like, all right, I'm not so hyped. So, like, what do you want to do here? Dude, that's a good point. I've never had anyone ask that. That's a really good question, man. You're killing questions today. What the hell is going on? Good for you.
I'm grateful.
Appreciate it, man.
I mean, the reason I think of that question is just because, like, I can tell, like, you've clearly got a creative nature, right? Like MV, I mean, this is going back, what, 12, 13 years? MV was on your mind, like, it's always thinking of that, and then you come out of MV and it's the next thing, then you've got Papercrowns, you've got Control. There's always, and, like you said earlier, there's a couple of businesses that people don't know about that you have involvement in, or you've got rid of, or you've sold parts of, and, like, it's clear that you've got this driven nature. I mean, do you have an end goal in your career? Like, do you feel like there's a point where you want to reach, and then you can kind of maybe relax off that creativity?
Yeah, man. A lot of people say, oh, I'm doing it for someone else, but literally it's like, I support my family currently, like, in an honest format, not like I'm proud of that. So I think being able to support them and take care of them so far has been a blessing to me, because it's not, like, people wouldn't believe where I came from, like, in terms of where they're at right now. A lot of people say that, but it's a small town. Not a lot of people make it out of there, and it's a blessing, man. Like, they're still. I left my house at 17, right? So I was out, went to college to play football, and then it led to this thing, and I never went back home except for the holidays. So, like, I think my end goal financially is when I don't have to stress anymore about it all, right? And I can say. But then again, what does that mean, right? Like, is that an end goal financially? No. So I don't really know. My goal is to get into art, man. I want to do, like, some controversial things that make people question a lot. Like, right? Like, that's
the best type of art, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just some things where you're not doing it for money. You're not making products. But I do think the whole solution is a big thing. Like, I think if there's a need to come up with something, I love being the solution. And I think that's a powerful thing as well.
Yeah. I mean, being as busy as you are, obviously, I can imagine it's kind of difficult to have much time for pretty much anything else. So, like, as you said earlier, there is a lucky lady in your life, right? How do you balance your love life outside of your entrepreneurial world?
She understands. You got to get someone that understands, man.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work. And she works just as hard as I do. She's trying to be a doctor. So, like, she's doing her CRNA thing. So she works, like, 12-hour days, comes home. We see each other for 2 to 3 hours. But on our off days, it's all planned. And as bad as it is, she's in the schedule. Right, like, tomorrow I gotta, I think, from 12 to 8 I'm hanging out with her, so it's like I got it planned out. I'm excited, but, like, and I know it's bad. A lot of people, like, my friends will be like, that's not healthy, your thing's never. I'm like, come on, man, like, what? Like, that's gonna work. Like, if people know who you are and what your goal is. Hold on, you gotta see this. This is the one, bro. This is the one that is causing the issues, bro. She's a little puppy just hanging out doing weird things, bro. But no, I think sorry, but in all honesty, dude, I think just planning everything, right? Like, do you have a girlfriend at all, or do you have anything like that?
Oh,
Like,
bro, I've had a partner for 9 years. Yeah, 2 sons.
So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, congrats on that.
No,
I've got that. That is something I couldn't do. I'll be open with you, right? The kid thing.
Yeah.
Nah, not yet. That's.
Bro,
I can barely have a dog, man.
Bro, like, the craziest thing is, like, my son's, like, I know this much. Like, I used to kind of be, maybe not. Like, I wasn't such a confident guy, and I didn't really enjoy the gym. I kickboxed for, like, 7.5 years, 8 years. But when my sons were born, I've never felt so confident in my life. It's crazy. Like, I became a psycho. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hit the gym every day for the rest of my life, just so I can like one punch someone's head off their fucking shoulders. You know, if they ever, like, that was all it was in my head. It was like mentally like this protective unit. But
That
yeah,
would change you. Like, is that like a real thing? Because I've heard people say that like you want to become, I guess, protective of those around you, or you want to become.
yeah,
Like, is that like a real thing?
it's
You get that?
definitely a factor, 100%. Yeah, like when my sons were born, kind of. I mean, like, I've always been able to look after myself. You know, like I said, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3". I'm a pretty big guy, and I did kickboxing and protective stuff for a long time. But where like I really gym gave me like a newfound confidence. Like when I really started to move crazy weight, like, and then I started to realize like, yo, like I can curl a man's body weight in one arm. Like that's when I started to realize like, yo, I will throw people around, So that was like a mentality, was like, I started to realize that, yeah, it was just like a crazy protective thing where it just started to drive into my head. But
Good for you.
yeah, my kids are crazy, bro. Like my youngest, he's 5. He's a tank. I swear, he's a tank. I already know he's going to be huge. Yeah, he's going to be so big. He's got my appetite, bro. But he's like fucking 3 foot tall. Like what? He's got my appetite for real. Like he eats anything and everything. Like bro, I like we went to McDonald's earlier. I got like he'll eat like a Happy Meal, then he'll try and eat like half a box of 20 nuggets. He'll try and like get into someone else's fries. The kid's crazy, honestly. But I mean, it's a good thing because I know like he's definitely going to be a bruiser when he grows up. I can tell. So yeah, I mean,
Good for you.
obviously you're obviously a very organized individual, right? Like you said, just you booked in for tomorrow with your partner and etc. etc. And from that you've obviously got some routinely habits. So I mean, what's like a day in the life like for you? What do you kind of do from day to day?
Yeah, it's a repetition, man. It's I try to get up every day, 6:45, clean like the house, just do your normal house clean in the morning, like I do it every day. By have that done by 7:15. Hop in the shot, like I'm on and working by 8 o'clock. And then if it is I call them, it's yet again go back to the percentage, but if it's a 30% day, which for me means if it's a company that I don't need to pay as much attention to, then I catch a workout, and I try to catch a workout. And I do some stuff over here. It's been different since this COVID fiasco, I guess, the situation. But so it's constant routine, man. So it's 8 a.m. and I'll work till about 8 p.m. And then I'll get up, go for a walk, roughly around 1:15 every day. I take my dogs for a walk. It's the same day over and over, but I break it up into slots. And Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is controlled traditionally, plus some weekend work. Sunday is like I call it a freelance day, where I think of new concepts, new businesses that could potentially sprout, or something I could develop and sell. Then there's Crowns days, and I have everything like spread out, man. That's why I respect the whole Elon Musk mindset, right? I have a see, but it's pretty. If someone looked at it, they'd think I was a psycho, I think. But
I mean, how has COVID affected business? Like, have you seen great numbers? Have you seen a decrease, an increase?
Increase across the board.
Yeah,
I haven't. And I mean, it's such a shame because I know people out there really struggling for stuff. But nothing. The one March was a bad control month. March wasn't good for control at all. I think it was like half of our normal numbers, because that's when it really hit home. That's the pandemic hit. But then in April, people are like, "Hey, I want to eat. Like, I want to make sure that I got what I need." So it really kind of spiked. Overall, nothing's changed except for the people I work with. I mean, they've kind of been eating a little bit more. They've been on a lot more working. So I'm seeing the different drive. But
that's awesome. Right, I've got a final trivia question for you. Okay.
Gotta do this right.
What 2 maps on COD 4 start with the letter W?
Okay, wet work for sure.
Yeah.
Right, wet work, and then this is an expansion map. I'm gonna lose my mind. Is it an expansion map? No.
I'm not gonna give you a clue. Right?
You can't clear me out. All right, so wet work, and then man, we're talking about a game from 12 years ago, bro. I can barely. All right, wet work, and is your chat lighting it up right now? Can they see it?
No, not the people are guessing, but not a lot. I think they're struggling as much as you. They are struggling just like you.
Oh, people are looking it up though. Those are cheaters right now.
Yeah.
Wet work and what is going on here? All right, I get 10 more seconds, right?
Yeah.
Wet work game. Why do I want to say like wasteland or something? Hold on. What is the rainy map? Is it rainy?
That was
Is
downpour.
it rainy?
Downpour. That
Downpour.
was.
That was what I was thinking. So I would have got it wrong. You got me
Yeah,
again, bro.
no problem. It's because it was a trick question, bro. There isn't two. It was just one. It's wet work.
Bro, that's still a dummy. I would have filled in the box. That's a dummy. There's only one box to fill in. Right?
Yeah, but it was just a little funny watching you struggle to think of another one. That was all, bro.
I've been going all night, bro, until I got it too. And for some reason, I kept thinking pipeline. In my head, it was a pipeline and downpour. Every question you asked, it's like I thought that was going to be one of them.
Yeah.
What?
Right. So I'll just move on to some. I mean, I've pretty much done most of my questions for you, bro. I've got some Twitter questions here from a couple of users. Is it okay if I ask you some of those?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Knock it out.
So Kafra asks, between yourself and Hastro, who wins the gulag?
1,000% me. Hastro, he doesn't want the smoke, bro.
Really?
No way. Yeah, no way, dude. Hastro ain't competing with me on that. I used to watch Hastro play some of those. I do talk some trash on like MMOPGAs or whatever. Like a lot of those other games. I would watch him playing a lot of real-time strategy games. Also, he doesn't want. Come on. That's a Get out of here.
Okay. JC Wiley asks, what's your favorite project that you've ever worked on, and or what has been your favorite time or moment in esports?
Time or moment in esports was watching Scump Clutch. Probably there was a time, I don't know when that was. It was like not too long ago, 2 years ago maybe. I watched Scump just go ham, like he always does. And that just stood out because the crowd erupted. I posted on Twitter as well. It was just such a cool experience. Always is. And then
favorite project?
I'd say cool. Favorite project probably be Control, just because of passion project. But I'm developing a brand for Mr. Beast currently right now as well.
Oh damn!
That one's gonna be heavy.
Wow.
Yeah,
man.
That one's awesome. So
that sounds awesome, bro. Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Ray97 asks, how do you see the industry of esports in 5 years in comparison to where it is right now?
I hope better. I hope that I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say I think the money is allocated better. I think that we're putting more time and effort towards content. And I think esports is going to...
Oh.
Are we still good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah. Don't worry about it, bro.
Over here, turn off no, I think, I'd say I think it's going to boom. I think that we're going to be in a good position to have a lot more jobs. I think if someone's out there listening right now that wants to work in esports, you're going to be welcomed with open arms. So start to learn.
Awesome.
Start to learn if you don't know.
Yeah. And finally, Kafro asks, what advice would you give to amateur organisation owners looking to succeed at the highest level?
I always live by the win motto, so I know that one's not as easy. But win puts you anywhere. But if not, it's content and it's plan and strategy. I could go to 50 amateur orgs right now and they wouldn't have a strategy for 2022. You asked me what I'm launching in 2022 for Control. Granted, there might be hiccups along the way, but every business I have has a roadmap of 2 years. And you follow that to the closest you can because nothing ever happens that way. Everything's delayed. Live off that 1 month delay. It's plan and execute. So it's like you got to know what content you're pushing out in 3 months. You got to pay attention to holidays, get your holiday graphics made, whatever you got to do that's forward thinking, just do more of that. And then also seek solid sponsors that don't know what they're talking about. And I mean that. So I'm going to say it. I'm gonna be honest,
bro. It's so true. It's so true. Like you saying that, because like I was literally having this conversation earlier today. Was like, you don't want to go to a sponsor that literally tailors to your demographic because they know about you already. They know what they need to do. But if you go to a sponsor that's completely separate and out of this demographic, easy. Like me, bro. At the moment, obviously this podcast is called The Bakery, right? The ideal sponsor for this podcast is a bakery chain in the UK called Greg's. They literally sell sausage rolls, steak bakes, pastries. Like, bro, I want to approach them. I am going to approach them and just be like, yo, I need a sponsor. See if it works.
Show them this episode. Show them this episode and say it would boom, right? We'll fancy up the design a little bit. Let's get this going, man. I'm for it all day. I'm with you, bro.
Right, and I got one final question from Kev, who's the CEO of War. And he says, Or when are we going to see control crossed with war? It's time to get these boys looking like true Spartans.
That's how you achieve right there. So rewind to the previous question.
Yeah.
You hop in like that with that question. Hopefully soon. Just email me, and I mean that wholeheartedly. But don't expect money right away. Got a policy. I'll explain it later. But don't. I've been too long for you, Kev, to come after me for some money right away. We gotta negotiate.
Yeah,
right?
I feel you, bro. Right. Look, man, that's all the questions I've had for you. I'm really grateful for your time. It's been a fucking awesome insight, especially into someone as creative and busy as you are. You know, so I know your time is precious, and I'm grateful that you've been able to slot me in. Seriously.
Dude, I appreciate it. You kill this. This is a bright future for you, I promise you. And if you're not in the bakery in 6 months doing this, or we got to change the backdrop, we got to do something here. Cause I'm for this. That's for you all day. Questions are solid, and you keep it flow. Everyone's doing a podcast, but not everyone's doing it the way you are. So good shit, man.
That means a lot. Seriously, thank you. I'm grateful. Yeah. Is there like a final closing comment you want to say before we close off? Anything?
No, I mean, for me, just crush it. Everyone should crush it. Like, just keep working. Like, come up with a plan and crush that shit and do it again, bro. That's all I gotta say.
And buy control, right? Everyone go buy some control. That shit's premium.
Yeah. You gotta try it first before you can say that. Genuine shit only.
Bro, I can tell. Just look at it. I can tell it tastes good. Every time I look at that cinnamon toast packaging, I'm like, yeah, that shit tastes so fucking good. I can tell without even trying it, bro. Literally.
Bottom of the bowl, bro. I promise you. A lot of people bullshit their products, but if you don't like it, ship it back to me. Okay.
Yeah, man. Nah, bro, I got it. Right, listen, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm grateful for everyone that's came through. And obviously, we've got listeners all over the world at the minute, so I'm grateful to all of you. If you guys are just coming in at the end of the episode, don't worry, this will be on Spotify within the hour and YouTube tomorrow night, so you can catch it there. Also, Sunday, 10 p.m., Joey Nubsy will be on. He's the Seattle Surge coach, so come through then and catch him. But other than that, guys, thank you very much. That's the Baker over with. Peace.